Hey Amy, how are you? Whoever is on, good morning. I hope everybody's having a good morning. If you guys could, please like the live and reveal yourself as well so I know who I'm talking to. I appreciate everybody who liked the live. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know much about technology, but I know that when you like the live, it I guess somehow the algorithm people see it more. And good morning, TMH. Good morning, Scott. And then what's happening is then they're able to get the words, they're able to get the videos. So I've been getting a lot of people recently, and it's insane. Just like this is interesting, guys. So my dad passed away 4 years ago in August. It's hard to believe how fast it goes, but it's so weird because even though it's been 4 years in August, I could still feel it as like the day like that it happened. Like it's almost like everything around you keeps going, but that it's weird. But just by everybody liking the lives and stuff, I mean, he's like, you figure a 50-year-old man, and he went to high school with my dad, all the things. He's in like that clique, and just by you guys liking the lives, he's seen my videos, and he's like, oh my gosh, are you Rob's daughter? I said, yeah. It was crazy, but it's weird how it works. So before I get to work, guys, I figured I would chill out with you a couple minutes. Okay, so everybody that's on, if you guys could like the live, I would really appreciate it. Like I told everybody, the more that people like, the more it gets projected out to other people so they see it, they get the encouragement, all the different things. Anyway, and plus it will notify you like if you're live. Like I guess people see the lives up and up or something. I never did any of that. But anyway, so I appreciate everybody that's doing it. Again, because anybody that knows when you're on this journey, it's definitely very discouraging. Okay, so Scott, your name looks familiar. I know you from somewhere. Okay, so Google account. What is the theme of this channel? So originally, it was all about marriage and it was all about kingdom spouse content, and it still is. But God has me changing things because I don't know if anybody here knows what a life coach is, but a life coach is somebody who helps you evolve in every area of your life. So, like, if anybody here say, like, do you know who Tony Robbins is? Um, he also starred in Shallow Hal. He was in the elevator with Jack Black. He's a builder life coach, okay, and he helps people become like great. Like in other words, in every area of their life, physically, intellectually, emotionally, spiritually. So what God's having me do right now is become a life coach to help you all progress in all those areas, because to get the promises of God, he wants us to evolve. So like I said in a prior video, what's happening is a lot of people are getting the spiritual thing down, but they're not doing anything else. So in other words, they're getting stuck. Like they're getting the spiritual in check of what they need to do, developing their prayer life, getting them to, what's the word for it? Evolve, and developing the good prayer life, the relationship with God, knowing the Bible, knowing the Word of God. Again, not being overly religious, but you understand, building that relationship with God, that strong foundation. And then what's happening is we don't realize it, Okay, but what ends up happening is we get stuck there. So we end up kind of like the man at the pool where there's no other progression in the area. So then like you're going around like having relationships with people, spouses, you're in communication, you're not really progressing in communication because you don't really know the basics of communication. You don't know your spouses or your girlfriend or boyfriend or your kingdom spouse, whatever we're working with. You don't know their love language. You don't know their attachment style. You don't know how their biology works. In other words, there's a lot to all this. You don't even know your own. So in other words, you got two insecure people ricocheting insecurities off the other. Okay, so and then everybody has defense mechanisms. Nobody knows anything about that. Okay, so there's so much that you could be doing to evolve physically. I mean, like getting your health in order, getting in the best shape of your life, looking your best. Because again, at the end of the day, guys, visual is usually what is going to attract somebody initially to you, is how you look if clean cut, then how you speak, how you act. Can you keep your emotions in check? Are you able to healthily work through emotions? Are you able to be aware of your triggers and then make a different decision based off of it? So in other words, there's so much more than just the spiritual side. So yes, that is kind of what, when you said what is the theme of the channel, that's kind of what the theme of the channel is. I hope that makes sense. I want to have you guys progress in every area, then get like financially in the best shape of your life, be able to get out of debt. Like I'm going to help you in so many areas. Okay. You said emotional, physical, financial, and spiritual. Becoming the best version of yourself for his glory is indeed a journey. It's been 7 years and I'm still in need to get my health. Well, girl, definitely I can help you. Reach out through email. We can book a call. That's one thing that's really cool. When I went through my health issues 2 years ago, God finally healed me and everything, but it was a journey. He had to teach me how to do things. And basically, he had me have a balance between holistic and the medical field. Like, in other words, a balance. Because, see, Oral Roberts, I don't know if anybody knows who he is. I loved him because he kind of the teacher that God's making me be, because we're supposed to be extremists. Like we don't go one side or the other. Like in other words, when you become a Christian, people either are like so religious and then can't relate to other people. They're so worldly and can't relate to Christians. Like in other words, there needs to be a balance. Okay. And then like with medical, we can't be the type of people we're so holistic where we will die on the table refusing a blood transfusion, but then we don't want to over abuse the pharmaceuticals as well. There needs to be a balance to teach me how to kind of handle all that discernment, how to eat right, supplements. And now I'm in the best shape of my life. I feel the best. It's weird because I'm older now and I feel better than I did when I was younger and when I was even thinner than I am now. It's weird how it works. Like God is going to teach you all that, but he gave me the skills. I'm now a registered dietitian, so I can help you with all of that. You can out through email and we can set up a call. I try to what's the word for it? Get back to everybody immediately, but there's a lot of people. Okay, so now let's answer. Scott said, "Do you have a job other than counseling?" Okay, Scott. So I have worked in so many different fields. I think that's kind of why God pushed me into this area. I have done everything you can possibly imagine. I say humbly, intellectually speaking, I've done everything. Nursing, I've done salon work, esthetician work. I've worked in dietary. I've worked, I'm trying to think of what else, in the chef field, in kitchens that would charge $500 a dish. I catered. Um, oh gosh, I worked in factories. Okay, like my dad for a while, he wanted me to do production work because it was really good money. So I worked there for a while. Like I know a lot. Okay, so I worked in tons of salons since I've been young. I did a lot. So what ended up happening is when a salon for 10 years, and basically when my dad passed away, he was the electrician of the salon. So then when he passed away, I couldn't afford to basically get an electrician to come in there if a bulb was loose. to be able to screw it back on. So I was so heartbroken over that, because that was like my sweat, my blood, my tears for so long. So like I said, nobody knows my story. Like, I lost 9 family members in a year. My husband and I split up. There was betrayal on that end. I'm not going to get into that. I lost my business. I lost a lot of stuff. I don't even want to get into all that. My health, finances, my car. I lost everything. God, full circle, restored everything. However, in season though, when I lost my business, it was devastating. I didn't know what I was going to do. So then God ended up leading me to a different route. And I started like back in the chef stuff for a while, because I thought that's what I wanted to do. And then I worked there, and then basically I got to fulfill the dream I wanted to fulfill, working in a high-end kitchen, 5-star, all the things, which was cool. And then I realized I didn't want to do it. I started catering, and that was cool too. I had my own business doing that, was making good money and everything. But then it became too stressful with being a mom and stuff. So then I wanted to go back doing esthetician, working in the salons, eyelash extensions, all that different thing. And it was weird because I'm overqualified. And all the positions that I was applying for, it was like this spiritual, supernatural thing where it kept getting blocked. So he was pushing me into this, and I didn't want to do this. So then I remember my coach said, and he still laughs to this day, Megan, you can try your best, to just keep fighting this, or just step right into it. So then literally I stepped into it, and then I couldn't believe how it took off, and I couldn't believe how God qualified me so much more to be able to do this. So then, anybody who's been here a while, I was doing it. I still was managing my regular clients, but I didn't want to do it again anymore. It got overwhelming. So then I took 9 months off. I wasn't really filming much or anything, because it was just it was too much. And then what ended up happening is God more or less told me, I never told you to stop. You better get back at it. So then he ended up giving me a whole new dynamic of how he wants this channel to go. I'm being obedient, and it's like every time I try to quit this, he just won't let me. So who knows? It doesn't mean it's going to be forever, but as of right now, he wants me to do it. And then I get all my clients, they'll be like, I don't want you to ever stop. You know, it's nice that people think that of me, but yeah, it's a lot of work, guys. It's a lot. So Joe Mama says margarine or butter. Oh, butter for sure. Grass fed, of course. This is how I look at it. Obviously, margarine's lethal. Does that mean that I'm never going to have it? No, because when you go out, they're definitely using it. So you might as well just never eat out. And then basically I used to be like the whole 100. Like, I wanted to do everything by the book. Like, I would take like extreme measures to make that happen. You just can't. Like, in other words, all that stress of trying to prevent it is going to cause you to end up getting high cortisol, your hormones imbalanced just for stress alone. So we don't want to be stressed about it. We just want to make sure that we follow it the best we can, but don't try to completely avoid it altogether. So yeah, butter is basically going to be the better option. Grass-fed is best. Regular butter is not going to be as good, but again, I don't just stick to grass-fed butter anymore, because it is so expensive to where I will use it. But at the end of the day, I also will use other butter too. But I'm definitely like going to avoid margarine as best I can, unless I can't. Canola or tallow. Tallow for sure, but you want to make sure, again, ideally grass-fed tallow. Everybody will ask me, how's your skin look the way it does? Blah, blah, blah. I use a lot of good skincare. Like, I will plaster like collagen and stuff on my face. But beef tallow, grass-fed, really good skincare, guys. If you want your face to get all the vitamins that it needs, okay, on the external surface, you want to use beef tallow. Beef tallow, you might think, ew, that's nasty. You could put beef tallow like on your eye assist if you have it. I came in late. What did you say about insecurity bouncing off each other? Abraham, rewatch the live. I don't have time to get into it fully again, but rewatch the live. I have to get to work. A lesson I learned is you pay now or you pay later, so decide what you're going to put on your bodies. Many times healthy food is more expensive but less toxic on the body. I am guilty of, yeah, I was an extremist, Amy. I literally would go to the store and only buy organic only. It had to have, like, I would be studying the ingredients in the aisle. It was becoming so stressful that I, like, was actually, my hormones still weren't dysregulated. So now I do the 80/20. So, like, to give you a rule of thumb, like, right now I'm having my protein coffee. I have it all the time, first thing in the morning. It's organic coffee that I grind from Aldi, $6 a bag. I get the Peru one. I have a coffee grinder, grind my beans. So, but organic coffee isn't really good. It's better, but people think it's like gonna be the best situation. Not. Ideally, you would want to be buying the ones that are like $60 a bag, that like are, not only is it organic, but there's no pesticides, none of that crap in it. I don't got the dough for that. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I don't. So I get the organic. So yeah, it might be 40%, but that other 60, I'm not going to stress about it. Anybody on here, reveal who you are, and please like the live to get this out in the algorithm. So I do that. I do one scoop, 30 grams of my beef protein collagen. I can't remember the brand. It's 30 grams, 26 grams of protein. And I do, it's beef protein. Like, I try to not drink whey protein anymore. I won't. Again, whey protein isolate. And the one that I was using, the whey protein isolate, was grass fed and stuff. So, like, in other words, I do try to get better when you're going to do things like that. But this one I'm using is beef protein, and it doesn't taste like beef or anything, but it's a more on the expensive side. So I do that because when I have the coffee, I want to be able to get my collagen in. I want to be able to get my protein in. I prefer to do meat protein over dairy. That doesn't mean I won't do dairy, though. Dairy's more on the inflammatory side, but if you use grass-fed, if you use organic, whatever the case is, it's not going to be as bad. But I try not to overdo dairy because it is inflammatory. But again, this isn't perfect. So I do that, and then I do the nut pods. And even though it's non-dairy, 10 calories, which is ideal for macros and stuff like that, that technically, you can say to yourself, has maybe pesticides or whatever the case is. I'm not going to stress about it. And then I do 2 pumps of some type of sugar-free syrup. Oh my gosh, aspartame. Well, actually, there's no aspartame in it. It's sucralose. They'll be like, oh my gosh, I was like the type that would literally only like use like honey stuff in the past. I'm not wasting no calories on honey. That doesn't mean I won't do honey, okay? But I ain't wasting like 60 calories that I could maybe have something to eat. That's just how I look at things. So I'm not going to stress about it. So I do 2 pumps of some type of sugar-free syrup of some kind, and then mix it up. Oh, I put a scoop of collagen, 10 grams, which is going to be 10 collagen is going to be another 9 grams of protein. And then you're going to get the collagen for your joints, your skin, all the things. But yeah, like, in other words, like when I'm having this, like, it's not perfect. Before I wanted to make it perfect, I would only sweeten with honey, use organic grass-fed milk. And then my coffee was like high in calories. And at the end of the day, we do want to get in good shape. So it's like, you got to weigh everything out, balance. And then I have this. I'm going to go for a walk as I work, get my 10,000 steps in. For lunch, I'm probably going to have something that I really like to have. I don't know about you guys, but I really like to eat beef hamburger patties. So, like, I'll go to the store. I either buy grass-fed or some type of lean beef, and then I make at least 4 ounces to get like a decent amount of protein. I'll put like a piece of cheese on it, have some fruits and some vegetables with it, maybe a little bit of cottage cheese. So I got a lot of protein in, fiber, all the things. In other words, I'm not going to always buy organic fruit and vegetables though either. But when I buy my vegetables, I use those containers, the strainer and the plastic. I put it in, I rinse it real good, put some baking soda, let it soak in apple cider vinegar, get all that crap off. So in other words, it's going to be in better position to be able to save some money. So again, I help people do a realistic approach. Some people, if they're like all in, doing it all the one way, I'm not for you. So I hope everybody's having a good morning. I gotta go soon. So if you have any questions, shoot them out. Oh, and sometimes, guys, I will add prebiotic fiber to this because fiber and protein not only keep you full, but it's good for your gut. It's good for you to, everything starts in the gut. So, but who's all on? Well, if nobody has anything to say, I'm going to roll. Uh, well, thank you. What's your name? Well, hello, Oliver. Well, if nobody has anything to say, I'm gonna get off. I have to get to work. And what else? Again, guys, the best thing I can tell all of you guys is life is gonna be what you make it. So if you decide to be miserable, you're gonna live a miserable life. But if you decide to purpose in your pain, you're going to have a better overall life. So you too, Oliver, and you all have a wonderful day. Um, please, if you could, like this live. And then if you comment, you can comment maybe something you want to see in the next live. Again, I'm letting you guys, as the audience, choose kind of what you would like to hear. And then obviously, I will give direct words that God kind of puts in my heart to give. At the end of the day, pick and decide what you'd like to hear. I mean, I like to educate people. And a lot of you guys will tell me all the time that you like my teachings and stuff. I'm all for it, but shoot out kind of what you kind of want to hear, so you give me some type of idea of what you would like to know. So anyways, you too, you have a good day too, Tika. So God bless you all. I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys.